I was 1.5 years when vitiligo started. So mine started on my genital area, where my mom thought that the house girls are not taking care of me. They're not changing my napkins on time or the diapers on time. When I was around 21, I went to look for a job in a supermarket, and I wasn't given an opportunity because the owner of the place thought I will infect her customers with my condition.
Hi, my name is Robbie Omondi and welcome to Life 360. Now, we've talked about many other episodes on different conditions and diseases, and today I have a very interesting guest who is going to take us through a condition called vitiligo. The first time I met her, she showed me an interesting patch on her skin that represents Africa, and we know most of us have very many misconceptions about how we should look, how we should feel, and we were brought up knowing we're either black or white. But what about people who live with vitiligo? Allow me to introduce to you Nasuju. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us, who is Nasuju? What are your full names? Tell my viewers about yourself. Just a little bit knowing you before we begin with vitiligo.
My name is Jullie Nasuju. I'm the founder of Royal Patches Foundation. I'm also a mother of 4. I'm also a model representing vitiligo in Kenya. And I'm also a loctician. I do dreads also.
Take us through, how did you know you have vitiligo? Were you born with vitiligo, or eventually when you're growing up, how did you eventually know these patches are vitiligo?
Actually, I'm not the one who discovered I had vitiligo. It's my mom, due to taking me to different hospitals trying to find out my skin condition. Because I was 1.5 years when vitiligo started, and it normally starts as a small spot and then spreads in the body slowly by slowly. So mine started on my genital area, where my mom thought that the house girls are not taking care of me. They're not changing my napkins on time or the diapers on time. So after some time is when she noticed this thing is not going away, and she decided to look for medical help. And let's just say, for me, knowing I had vitiligo is when I was around 6 years old. Is when I noticed I'm actually different. And I started asking questions, because even in school I was being asked questions.
You mentioned that when you're 6 years old now, you could tell that now this is vitiligo, or rather the patches that I have, this is the condition and it's called vitiligo. How did you maneuver that period, and even starting to tell your friends?
Actually, that took a lot of time. That took a lot of time because at that time I also did not understand what's happening with my body. No one was telling me, even my mom. She just used to tell me that I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. And I don't take it in a bad way, but God gave me 2 colors. Those are the words that she used to tell me at that time. So basically, I cannot say that I knew about my skin condition in details when I was young. I came to know about it in details when I was in high school. Is when I started doing research by myself.
Yeah. Now, understanding vitiligo, because now you have 2 colors. You know, we are used to seeing now, I'm born, I'm either black or I'm white. But now you're getting to understand you have 2 colors which are very different. How did you go about it now, and even as the colors kept progressing to different shades time to time?
I can tell you at the time I was, I think, 19 years old, because that's when I got my first kid. And funny thing about vitiligo, it does not like stress.
Yeah.
So anything that is stressful, it triggers it to spread. So conceiving a child, like, that is kind of, your body is going through a stressful moment at that time. And that is the time my vitiligo spread, and it spread really fast from the places it was, because when I had it when I was young is at the eyes, at the nose, lips, and a bit in the ears and my fingertips. It was there. But now, after getting pregnant, I started changing. My color started becoming more whiter and whiter and whiter. Actually, in the year 2013, I was almost fully white. Yes.
Wow. Pregnancy itself is not easy, but now you're pregnant. How did you manage that with your mental health, making sure you're okay now that you're about to bring another life to life?
I can say it was challenging, one, and I had too many questions, and I can admit I was depressed at that time, yes. because I was not understanding the changes that are happening in my body. And this is me, I'm becoming more whiter. I got my kid out of wedlock. It's not that I was married or anything. And here's my mom questioning me. There was a lot of pressure at that time, and it kind of affected me really in a major way. But by the time I was coming to realize myself, it was later on, some years later. Let's just say in 2015 is when I came to accept my skin condition, like fully. And I started looking at myself in a different way. I stopped looking at myself as this is a skin condition, people should take care of me, they should not treat me, but no. I started looking at it as art, as beauty. I started looking at the patterns that they are forming. Instead of looking for the mistakes, I started looking for the good things about it. Because I used to notice like the patterns are changing from time to time. A time I'll get a love heart in my finger, now it's not there, it's gone. Other times it will form a map of something, like the one that I have for Africa. Like it changes from time to time, and I started looking at it in a different dimension. And I think that's when my healing process started. I started healing from within, and I found myself, I'm able to talk about vitiligo and being open even to my kids, my mom, and everyone around me.
Now we live in a society where, it's easy for people to judge. When someone looks at you, they could be easy to judge. How were you able to make sure that that stigma did not get into you, or did it even get to you, the stigma of people looking at you differently and feeling you don't have to be around people, and that form of stigma, how did you go about it?
Yeah, it's major. That is a major thing I can talk about. Having vitiligo, it's kind of very challenging, especially when you're going to look for work. Especially where areas where your hands are contaminating maybe food or something or substances. It's really hard for you to be given a job in somewhere like that, because they think that vitiligo is contagious, yet vitiligo is not contagious. It's within your body system. Basically, I can say vitiligo is an autoimmune disorder, and it's within the body, you get. So it's either in the blood, it can be genetic, because my third-born child had symptoms of having vitiligo, but right now they have disappeared again, because vitiligo comes in and out, you get, and there are different types of vitiligo. I can give you an instance, like when I was around 21, I went to look for a job in a supermarket, and I wasn't given an opportunity because the owner of the place thought I will infect her customers with my condition. Even if I tried to explain to her, how she saw me is what she stuck with. She didn't want to know anything more, you get. And except that even when you're walking in the streets, you meet different kinds of people. You'll meet people who will see the beauty in it. You'll meet people who are scared of you because they've never seen anyone looking like this. You'll meet people who are disgusted. Like, there are different reactions you'll meet with. How they stare at you and how they look at you can actually tell you a lot. Or you're trying to cover it up with clothes that vitiligo cannot, you don't want people to see this condition at all.
Now, eventually, when you've gotten to understand your body and your skin condition, are there products that you use to actually make you maybe not get irritated either by the sun or by the environment that you are, or just to make the patches not to disperse more on your body?
I can say no. For me, first thing first, the makeup affects my skin. Let's start from there. I'll start feeling itchy when I've applied. Then the time before you cover up all this whiteness, that's a lot of time. I don't know if I can take that much time trying to cover it up, because you'll have to use different layers and layers of makeup. But there are people who use that. First thing first, vitiligo is not a good friend to the sun. One thing, you have zero melanin. The white patches that you have, there's no melanin in there, because this is the part where the antibodies actually have eaten up all your melanocytes, like what makes your skin dark, the melanin. You see the way you're burnt by hot water or oil and then you get a blister? That's the same way the sun will burn you and you'll get a blister. So using sunscreen is one. Have a hat or shades or something. Just keep yourself in a cool area.
Now, looking at you, you have so many artistic things about yourself, from your rings, from your hair, from the things you do, the tattoos. Maybe you can give us kidogo about it. What is all about your art?
I don't know. I think when I was a child, I just wanted to be in the beauty world. I really loved fashion very much. I wanted to be a fashion designer, but that didn't go so well. But I found my talent, and I found that I'm good at making locks, dreadlocks, hair. I'm interested in hair very much. And then also musically, I love music so much. I don't know. I think it's something in me. I'll come to explore later. I'll come to explore later because when I was young in Sunday school and all that, I used to sing, but I stopped singing. And the entertainment world is where I found people who are up, lively, they want to mingle, they want to know more about vitiligo. We can do actually projects, and it boosted my courage and my self-esteem. And that's why I think I've always remained on the entertainment side so much.
So eventually, with the experience that you have and the kind of life that you've lived, how has that helped you to impact the people around you, to understand what vitiligo is, and for other people to see that this is just a skin condition, it's not even a disease at all?
For me, I can say I've seen progress, much progress, because when I was starting in 2015 is when I started modeling. Not many people were doing the modeling parts, like trying to show off their skin. Most people were enclosed, reserved. They didn't want to be out there. And I was like, after all I've gone through and the rejections and all that when I was trying to look for a job, why don't I just model, show the people the beauty in vitiligo? And when I started, it started simple, but people came in who were interested, and I did my first photo shoot, which went worldwide actually. And right now I can say there's much progress. And we're being included in video shoots, we're being included in movies. Like, the awareness is growing. The awareness is growing, and the stigma is reducing, which is something that is good for people with vitiligo because it affects them psychologically.
And maybe as we finish up, maybe you can tell us what are some of the misconceptions you feel that people should not have about vitiligo, and how would you tell people to embrace vitiligo and actually understand the people around them to actually help create awareness more about vitiligo?
So 1, it is not contagious. 1, it is not contagious. 2, it's the most beautiful and artistic thing you'll ever. When you meet someone with vitiligo, most of them are talented. Most of them are talented, but they are afraid to step out. And for me, I always tell them, take it in positively. Like, this is just your color. It's your color. The minute you understand it's your color and you're unique and you're beautiful, the minute you start making big steps. The minute you see it as I will share like people, I shouldn't be near people, you'll become depressed. And that is not something that is really good. Because yes, there's medication for vitiligo. You may heal or you may not. Remember, it's an autoimmune condition. So it comes and goes, you see. So there are times you might be darker, there are times you might be whiter, there are times it's playing in between. And for me, that is the beauty of it. Like, you're never, every year you're not the same. It changes. It changes. It actually makes you feel, I'm unique. Manze, I'm not like anyone else. So if the minute you take it in that way, the minute you take life in a simpler way.
All right, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your organization and leave a contact. Maybe someone would want to contact you to have more information about vitiligo.
You can reach us on Royal Patches Foundation in all our social media pages. Facebook, it's Royal Patches Foundation. In Instagram, is Royal Patches Family. And normally, Royal Patches, what we do, we kind of help people to bring out their talents. Whether you're an actor, even you're a model, you're a musician, we kind of look for platforms for you to be able to be noticed with vitiligo. Let's just say it's kind of an agency, and still we're trying to build like a family to help people be able to live with the condition, because it's not easy. And so long as you know you're many and you're able to cope with it, you kind of set an example to people. to be able to motivate them.
Thank you very much for coming through to our show. We'll definitely involve you more when you're talking to people about vitiligo. And to you, my viewer, thank you very much for staying tuned up to this moment. Allow me to give a very big shout out to our host, which is Boulevard Hotel here in Nairobi. Feel free to pass by, have a meal, have a bite. It's a very good environment. Don't forget to say Robbie referred you here. It has been my pleasure giving you stories, and feel free to reach out to our Instagram page, which is Life360. Leave a comment and share your stories. We can come to you so that we can help create awareness and definitely make the world a better place for us all. Until next time, bye-bye.